Hey everyone, it's me, Christine, the host and creator of Flourish in the Foreign, a podcast that elevates, celebrates, and affirms the voices and stories of Black women living and thriving abroad while exploring living abroad as a pathway to wellness. I actually just got finished doing an interview for a different platform, and the producer and we were talking about the concept of soft life and how some people conflate living abroad and soft life. And I thought, you know what? I haven't been on IG in a minute. Let me come and talk to the people about soft life and what I think about it in context of living abroad. If you're interested, cool. If not, I'm just gonna talk. I'm gonna talk about it. If you have any questions about moving abroad, if you are abroad, if you are not abroad, tell me about it. Tell me where you are currently. Tell me where you wanna go. Tell me your thoughts on soft life. But in general, my thoughts on soft life are this. I think that the concept of soft life, especially when we're speaking about Black women and women of color, I think it's definitely a concept that we should embrace. But this is my thing about soft life. Soft life is not an aesthetic, okay? Let's not confuse it as an aesthetic as like pink and fuzzy things and like dewy lighting or whatever, or like low buns or something like that. That's not what I'm talking about when I'm talking about soft life and living abroad, right? So if you've been listening to the podcast, you know that I believe that living abroad is a pathway to wellness, but I always say at the end of every show, it's not about going abroad. It definitely isn't about just being abroad. It's about thriving abroad. And soft life and going abroad requires intentionality. You are not going to just have a soft life because you moved to Spain. I should know, I live in Spain. I lived in Spain for the past 5 years. And I think that might disturb some people who think that I'm just going to get off the plane and soft life dust is going to come down, rain down upon me, and I'm gonna have a soft life. I'm gonna move abroad and everything is gonna be great. I'm gonna move abroad and I'm gonna have a life of ease. And I have to say that is actually not the case. I think people who perpetuate that message haven't been abroad for a long time, because that's not the case. I think having a soft life abroad requires intentionality when you decide where to move in the first place, because look, moving abroad is a hassle. Okay, if you're not independently wealthy, living abroad is a hassle. Moving abroad is a hassle. And if you don't choose your country and city and the reasons why you're going abroad carefully, you could be setting yourself up for a non-soft life. Okay, so moving abroad isn't just like soft life, instant dewiness. That's not what happens. So it requires intentionality. But more than that, like I kind of always say, having a soft life, one, you have to define what does that mean to you. I always tell everyone, you have to define what wellness means to you. What does that mean? What does a life well lived abroad mean to you? So I'll say this for me. When I moved to Spain, I was burnt out, but I didn't have the language of burnout. So I was just like, oh, I'm tired and I feel like I need rest. I need something different. And I moved to La Rioja, which is wine region. It's actually one of the many wine regions in Spain. So let me say that. I don't want the Spaniards to get at me because there are multiple world famous wine regions in Spain. But I moved to La Rioja. I was living a very, you would think, soft life. I was working 12 hours a week. Okay, I was drinking wine that was so affordable. Oh my goodness, La Rioja. Oh, good times. Food, drink, lushy lunches turning into dinners with friends. It was great. But was I healed from my burnout? No. And was I living a soft life? I think maybe on the surface, yes. But that's the thing. I don't believe that soft life is an aesthetic. So maybe for my friends who are watching, they were like, ooh, Christina's just drinking all this wine and living in these vineyards and all this other stuff. But I think the soft life that people truly want, that's sustainable, that's actually life-changing, it's not aesthetics, y'all. It's a cultivation. Y'all know what it is, right? So I was in La Rioja and I was living that life, and it wasn't necessarily a soft life. I found myself still very much deeply programmed in American way of life, of productivity, of busyness, of feeling guilty, just general sense of guilt, American guilt, a lot of it. So La Rioja did not solve that, and I did not have a soft life. I had a boozy life. I had a life where I didn't work that much, but was it soft? No. So where did the softness come? Well, look, my softness came for me abroad with one, being brutally honest about who I am and who I'm not, and what is it that I really want, right? I think for a long time, because I wanted to live abroad for such a long time, I had an idea of who I was. I was like, oh, I'm like a digital nomad. I'm gonna do this. And I done the Camino Santiago, so I was like, I'm a backpacker. I'm not a backpacker. Y'all, I'm not a backpacker. I mean, I can, and I probably will do another Camino, and I'm gonna hike in Norway, but like a backpacker, like that's not who I am. You know what I mean? And that's the issue with these kind of aesthetics, this kind of TikTok or IG kind of thing. We utilize it to create vision boards. We long after it. We vision it. But I want you to know, and I want you to actually think about what is it that you want. Because soft life is not an aesthetic, and it's not something you can put on. You're not going to move abroad. Fairy dust is going to come down, and all of a sudden, like, everything is going to be just fuzzy, and I don't know, bath bombs, and stuff like that. You have to really create it. And so I lived in La Rioja. As many of you know, I used to live in Barcelona. I now live in Valencia. And I think I have a very soft life in Valencia. I don't think I had a very soft life in Barcelona for a number of reasons. I was in a horrible relationship was one. Two was that Barcelona, although it's an amazing city, and I think it fits a lot of people, and they love it very much, was not the right fit for me. I thought it would be, because I thought I love, having just, lots of public transit, and there's so much stuff to do, and it's a vibrant city. It's the second largest city in Spain. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I want. That's who I am. I'm a city slicker. I don't even know if people even use that term anymore. Just saying things, dating myself. But I found myself really trying to make it work in Barcelona for a lot of reasons. I mean, I think you first, or I'll speak for myself, I think I doubted myself and what I was feeling. I kind of contributed to maybe homesickness, or not really understanding culture, or part of adjustment. And really, I knew that it wasn't the right fit of the city for me at the time. Now, who knows? Maybe I'll end up in Barcelona. I have a lot of cool friends, a lot of cool things happen in Barcelona. I like to dip in, dip out. But at this time in my life, and during that time, like, it wasn't the right fit for me. And I think I had a little bit of a fear of not figuring it out, not knowing, fear of failing. Like, if it's not Barcelona, where is it? Now I gotta pick another place. I gotta get a new visa. I don't know, all these different things. But you know what? It's through that honesty that you actually get to soft life. You have to be honest about what is it that you want and who you are. I definitely still wanted a big city, but I just wanted calmer vibes. I know. I wanted a warmer populace. I'll just say the Catalans are not the warmest. And y'all can fight me about that. They're not. And I'm Southern, so I'm like, I like people who say good morning. So that's me. And I needed to just take a risk and a change. And now, look, I had set up a whole life in Barcelona. Like I said, I got friends, I got peeps, I got things, I got activities. It's Primavera Sound right now. Like I could have done a lot of things, in Barcelona. And to have to take a risk, yeah, I'm still in Spain, but I never lived in Valencia, to move to Valencia and to pursue my wellness, true soft life, I had to bet on myself, y'all. And it wasn't like a fuzzy road. Like, I had to uproot myself. I had to go and explore and to figure it out. Now, what does my soft life look now? Now, I mean, yeah, in like a lot of cliche ways. Like I wake up at whenever I feel like it. But I actually wake up usually at 6 a.m., which no one believes. They're like, why? And I'm like, because I like to go to the gym early when there's no people in there. Okay? That's what it is. I wake up at 6, I go to the gym, I come home, I take my little shower, I have my little breakfast, I have my morning nap. I have a morning nap. So take that. And then I might, go around to the shops. I work, I set up work. I work for myself, so I set up my own calendar and things like that. But look, to be able to sustain myself abroad and to have this soft life requires cultivation and work and planning, right? It didn't just like befall me. All the projects that I'm involved in, all the things that I do require attention and intentionality. Because for me, soft life is not necessarily not doing anything. It's about doing the things that I want to do. It's being a part of projects that I want to be a part of. It's about having the time and the resources to invest in the things that I want to do, right? That's, for me, soft life. It's also about, going to the beach whenever I want to. It's about, living in the old town, which is I do, and I can open up my balcony and there's Spanish guitar playing in the plaza. And I'm like, oh yeah, I live in Spain. That's dope. Like, that's dope. But that's soft life. You see what I'm saying? Soft life is not an aesthetic. It is an embodiment. It is a lifestyle, okay? That requires cultivation. And I understand the impulse in which you're like, yo, I'm burned out and I'm tired. You mean I gotta work? I gotta go abroad and work some more? I gotta work for this life? You mean I'm not just gonna arrive on the tarmac and everything's gonna be great? And I'm like, no. And people who say that, I don't believe. I don't know. I've just been in these streets long enough. I've interviewed enough people to know that that's just not true. I know people put whatever on YouTube for clicks and whatever. Hey, look, and that's the game. So I'm not mad at them. I just want y'all to know. I don't want you to feel strange or like somehow you're doing it wrong if you go abroad and you're like, wait, soft life didn't just befall me. No, it's a cultivation. It's a cultivation, y'all. That's what I want to come on here to talk about. Soft life is something that I'm actually writing on right now. And also going to be starting my next round of moving about with intention. Starting up all my things, right? As some of you guys know, I took some time for my soft life and wellness. That's how to do it. I had to take some time off. But I'm back. And I'm really excited to chat with y'all about moving abroad with intention. I'm going to be talking about building a business abroad as well. I get a lot of questions about that. I talk about it a lot on other people's podcasts and stuff like that. So if you're interested in that, we can chat about it. I'll make myself available to you. But I just want to, drop in, chat with y'all about some soft life. It's a concept that I'm writing about and I'm going to go in deeper. I've talked to a lot of people about it. I've actually have an IG live with Kelly Bonner. I think it's from November 2020. We talked about soft life she's a therapist. So it's not an aesthetic, right? Because this is the thing, guys. We want it to be sustainable. We don't want it just to be like a vacation, oh, this is cute. You want to be transformed. You are looking to be a different version of yourself. You are surrendering the old life and putting on this new life. It's not an aesthetic. Maybe you look different. Maybe it is good lighting, glowy, dewy skin. Yes, we're drinking our water. We're having our fruits and vegetables, right? Have a market here. Yeah, that's true. Organic food is much cheaper here in Europe than in the United States. But look, what I want you to know is that soft life requires introspection. You're the only one that knows and can define what soft life means to you. You are the only one that can really be fulfilled by that. So what I want is that I don't want you, because perhaps you're burnt out, beat down by your current circumstance, to move in a way of escapism or romanticism, because sitting down to think about what you really want just feels very overwhelming. And you're just I don't know, I just want to stop. I just want to go. I get it. But I want you to be actually happy, is my thing. I want you to be really happy, and I want you to be really empowered, and I really want this experience to be sustainable for you. You know, I always say, like, living abroad and traveling abroad are two different things, two different experiences. But if you want the experience of living abroad to actually be transformative and to be positive, and for it to really be the next chapter of a life well lived for you, I want you to embrace getting to know yourself, being honest with yourself, no matter what people think. They may be like, you know, there's a lot of people who are like, why are you in Europe? Why aren't you on the continent? People who always say that to me, I'm like, they've never been to the continent. I've been to the continent more times than they have. That's another conversation for another day. I'm not going to go there. Plus, anyway, never mind. Right? You are the one that can define what a life well lived is, but you have to get curious, and do not think of it in generalities. That is the way to play yourself, because it makes you feel like you're doing a lot of work, but you're not doing any work at all, right? For example, people say, I want to go somewhere with good health care. What does that mean to you? What does good healthcare actually mean to you? Like, what do you need? Not for everybody else. I mean, we want everybody to have good healthcare, but like, we're talking about your life. What does that mean to you? Affordable healthcare. What does that mean to you? What is affordable? What are the numbers? Get really honest about yourself. Get really honest. Get really clear about what you're wanting. That's how you cultivate a life well lived. Not in generalities. Not in generalities. You have to be specific, because you are not just a generality. You're a very specific individual person. And even if it feels like maybe perhaps you're living in a space where you don't have a lot of options, doesn't mean that you're always going to be in a place that you don't have a lot of options. Be really curious about what makes you you, what makes you thrive. Think about it. And maybe you don't have an answer right now. Maybe like, Christine, you're asking a question I don't even know. But that's the whole point, is for you to get to know yourself deeply, and for you to move from a place of that deep knowing and intentionality and finding things that are in alignment. That's how we want to operate. That's soft life to me. Maybe I'll come back and do some more IG lives. I used to do them pretty regularly back in the day, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm not gonna make any promises, but that's my thoughts on soft life. I want you all to have a soft life, but I don't want it to be superficial, and I definitely don't want it to be for IG. I want it to be for you and your enjoyment and your like little marination in it and your surrender to it. That's what I want for you. I want it to be sustainable and life-giving. That's the whole point. All right, everyone. That's all I gotta say. I hope you're well. I hope you're great. Check out the latest episode of Flourish on the Floor and let me know what you think. Check out the website, flourishandtheforeign.com. The guide, Moving Abroad with Intention. Stay tuned. If you're part of the email list, you'll definitely want to read your emails, because I'm going to launch the next cohort of both Moving Abroad with Intention course and Build a Business Abroad. It's something I'm really passionate about. I'm a business strategist. So if you're like, oh, I really want to understand, how do you even have a business, Christine? Like, how do you even have a business abroad? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to answer your questions. And we'll probably do like a live or a workshop or something like that. So if you have a business idea, or if you have like some concerns or whatever, we can talk about it. And then we're going to get that started in July. Okay? And that is it. I hope you are all well. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.